He vanished without a trace. Declared dead, mourned by her entire family, buried without a body. But 10 years later, she came back. Not only alive, but determined to expose someone very close to her. Her own brother. What would you do if the sister you thought was dead walked back into your life? Claiming she faked her own death to take down one of you. Stay with us, because this is one of the most chilling family secrets we've ever told. And this time, the ghost isn't hot. She reveals. What happens when someone you buried comes back? 10 years ago, Clara Colburn vanished without a trace from her family's estate in rural Maine. It was a summer evening, just like any other. Clara had gone out for a late walk. The next morning, all her family found was her hoodie, torn, blood-stained, lying under the old oak tree. No signs of struggle. No Gotti, no suspects. But there was enough blood to assume the worst. The town searched. The police investigated. And eventually, Clara was declared legally dead. The Colburns buried an empty casket and tried to move on, but something never quite felt resolved. And then, 10 years later, during a family reunion cookout on that same estate, Clara returned, alive. It was a bright July afternoon. The garden was full of laughter, grilled corn, lemonade, and cheerful chaos. Clara's younger brother, Aaron, was tossing a football with one of the younger cousins. When he noticed her, a tall woman at the edge of the woods, dressed in black, wide-brimmed hat, just standing there, watching. Then she spoke. Her voice was calm, almost amused. "You throw like you used to," she said. Aaron froze. The football hit the ground. He walked forward slowly, confusion knotting his face. But as the woman lifted her hat and revealed her face, the world stopped. It was her, somehow. Same eyes, same scarred chest beneath the jawline. "Clara," Aaron whispered. From that moment, the reunion spiraled into chaos. Clara's mother collapsed. Aunt Harriet screamed. The cousins barely knew how to react. Some thought they were seeing a ghost. Others thought it was an elaborate prank. But Liam, the eldest brother, didn't speak at first. He just stood there, holding his wine glass, eyes locked on Clara. She stepped forward, head high. "No," she said. "I'm not a ghost. I'm not hallucinating. I faked my death, and I'm going to explain everything tonight." Once night fell, the family gathered again, this time in silence. The mood had shifted completely. The woman they once mourned was now standing under the very oak tree where her hoodie had been found. String lights swayed above. Wind whispered across the field. Clara looked each of them in the eye. 10 years ago, she began. She hadn't run away on impulse. She'd run because she saw something she was never supposed to discover. That night, unable to sleep, she walked to the barn, a place that had supposedly been locked for years. But the door was ajar, and inside she found boxes, paperwork, passports, photos of girls, routes, ledgers marked with foreign currency symbols and pseudonyms. And then she saw him. Liam, speaking on the phone, discussing drop points, transactions. He was calm, like he'd done this many times. "I realized," Clara said, "my brother wasn't just living a double life. He was running something horrific, and I had seen too much." She made a noise trying to escape. Liam had noticed. He chased her out of the barn, through the woods. She remembered tumbling, crying, and then a sharp pain, a knife. Not deep enough to kill her, but it cut open her arm. He'd thrown it. She thought he would come back to finish the job, but instead he left her bleeding under the trees. So she made the only choice she could, disappear completely. Hours later, as dawn approached, a car passed by the country road. Clara, bloody and limping, flagged it down. Inside was Detective Mia Garland, off duty that night but sharp enough to hear Clara out. And what Clara described was horrifying. Mia took her in, let her rest, and then began helping her build a new identity. One that could hide her from Liam, and one that would give her time to gather the evidence they would one day need to dismantle his entire operation. Over the next 10 years, Clara disappeared from the world, but not from the case. From a hidden place, she tracked Liam's accounts, followed donations made to fake charities and connected missing persons reports to Liam's travel routes. She waited, she watched, and when she had gathered enough proof, she came home. That night, under the oak tree, she produced a small flash drive. "This," she said, "is everything. Names, transactions, photos, shell companies, 10 years of receipts. And now it's going to the FBI." Liam stood and laughed. "She's making it up," he barked. "She ran away, had a breakdown. There's no proof. She's insane." But just then, headlights appeared at the end of the driveway. FBI vehicles pulled in. Armed agents filed out. "Liam Colburn," one of them shouted, "you're under arrest for conspiracy, trafficking, wire fraud, and attempted murder." Liam ran. He didn't get far. They tackled him near the vegetable garden and dragged him away in handcuffs. The golden child, the family's pride, the successful brother, exposed. That night, his mother didn't say a word. She simply stared at the place her son had been moments before, knowing now what Clara had known all along. In the days that followed, Clara didn't gloat. She didn't seek revenge. She began helping agents unpack the digital mountain of corruption Liam had left behind. And then she started something new. A nonprofit dedicated to helping girls escape the very same traps she had nearly fallen into. She named it Ash Roots, a reminder that even from what was burned, something can grow again. Aaron became her closest confidant. He spent weekend after weekend just talking, catching up on a decade of lost siblinghood. In a bittersweet way, they were kids again, only older, wiser, hardened by truth. Days later, beneath the same oak tree where they'd found her hoodie and now discovered her return, Aaron and Clara sat once more. Aaron looked at her and said, I keep thinking, if I had just come out 10 minutes earlier, maybe none of this would have happened." Clara turned to him. "No," she said. "If you had come, maybe he wouldn't have hurt me, but then I wouldn't have exposed him, and others would still be getting hurt." She looked up at the swaying branches above. "Sometimes you have to disappear," she whispered, "to truly be found." If this story left an impact on you, take a second to hit that like button and subscribe. We post stories like this every week, where family, secrets, and survival collide. And tell us in the comments, would you have believed her? This has been a Mystery Story original. See you in the next one. Like, subscribe, share.